Well, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Kathryn Roley, filling in for Brooke Buckner. I hope you've enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend so far, and I'm joined by our chief meteorologist, Tom Brannon. And Tom, it got a little loud outside and a little wet earlier today, so the goal of the question is, what's the rest of the weekend going to look like, and how was Memorial Day?
Well, let's cover what's going on right now. And yeah, it's a little loud out there. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect for several counties in central Arkansas. We have a watch tonight till 9 o'clock. This is what our latest radar summary looks like, with a line of storms moving through central Arkansas. Some of them are pretty strong, and hail. Inch and a quarter in diameter will be the main threat, along with some gusty winds tonight. That line moved through the Little Rock area not long ago and continues to push to the southeast away from the area. But there are some severe thunderstorm warnings we'll cover here in the THV 11 viewing area. You've got one down over northern Bradley County, another in Cleveland and Drew counties. One was closer to the Grant Jefferson County area. That's been allowed to expire, but this is that line pushing to the east southeast. Again, some strong wind gusts and some large hail. In central Arkansas, we have a flash flood warning for Pulaski, Lone Oak, a little bit of Faulkner and Saline County, still 745. The rain is beginning to let up here in central Arkansas, but we have a little bit more to go. As this storm moves to the southeast, we're more than likely going to see another area develop somewhere later tonight in western and west central Arkansas. The rain could be heavy at times. There could be some flash flooding. Until 9 o'clock, our initial severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for the counties in that magenta color, and we will look for thunderstorms to continue off and on through the evening hours and even into your Memorial Day holiday. I'll have that forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, thank you, Tom. And tonight, federal disaster assistance is now available to those of you in Saline County. The aid is in response to several severe storms and flooding from April 2nd and April 22nd. It comes just a few days after President Trump announced a major disaster declaration for those same storms. You can now apply for aid starting on Tuesday, and you can learn more on our website, thv11.com. This weekend, a highly anticipated tennis tournament is back in town, with talent from all across the world flocking to Little Rock, swinging for one thing, a trophy. THV 11's Maya Ellison gives us a closer look at what makes this tournament so special.
43 years of history here at Rebsamen Tennis Center swings into action again as the community gets a taste of professional tennis right in their backyards.
So this is day one of the Little Rock Open. This is basically like the AAA baseball equivalent of tennis. All right, these guys are right at the cusp of the very highest level of tennis.
Director Chip Stearns has watched the tournament blossom. Some of the world's top talents travel from near and far just to compete.
This tournament is that there's several guys that are going to be in the top 20 in the world. We just don't know which ones they are yet. So, I mean, there's a match going on right behind you right now. I mean, one of those guys could be in the top 20 in 2 years. You just never know.
That's what he says makes this tournament so unique. Just take reigning champion Mitchell Kruger. He's back again after competing in Europe.
It's always great coming back to a place you've done well at in the past. You know, it's always nice playing in front of people that appreciate the tennis and like coming out.
In the stands and around the courts, you see that community. Stearns tells me it has grown over the years in Little Rock, keeping each match exciting.
I mean, I just love watching tennis, just love seeing other players, seeing very talented players, and I mean, you also learn when you watch. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch a lot of good high-level matches.
But this is much more than tennis. The tournament serves as a fundraiser for those battling cancer. We learned from brothers Mark and Jay Heflin last month on its importance.
Wonderful things about this tennis tournament too is it really brings, both with UAMS being involved, it brings the healthcare community and the tennis community in great partnership.
With proceeds going towards the Cancer Institute.
People come all over the world to the Cancer Institute here, and we're just so fortunate to be a part of something so important.
In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Thank you so much, Maya. The tournament is free of charge to watch, so don't worry if you didn't get a chance to watch any of the action this weekend. The tournament will continue through Sunday, June 1st for the finals. It was also a big day in Conway as the Arkansas Boys State welcomed in 610 students from over 200 high schools. That's the largest enrollment in 10 years. It's a week-long leadership and civic engagement experience where the young men will build a mock government from the ground up and elect different positions across their city and state. They will also hear from some of those who hold leadership positions here in the natural state.
Our goal here is to get our students civically engaged, civically minded engaged in this process, and so they can go back to their communities and be thriving citizens and those who are willing to jump in and be involved in the plight of whatever they need to do in order to improve their communities.
Jackson says former President Bill Clinton, former Arkansas governor and current ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee, and Senator Tom Cotton are all alum of the program. Meanwhile, at the nation's capital this weekend, many members of Congress, including a number of Republican lawmakers, are speaking out against President Trump's big, beautiful budget bill, which narrowly passed the House last week. CBS News' Christian Benavidez has more as the bill now awaits a vote in the Senate.
On this Memorial Day weekend, which doubles as a congressional recess, a number of Republican lawmakers are breaking rank with President Trump as they speak out against his budget bill. The bill was passed by the House by a razor-thin margin on Thursday. Now as it heads to the Senate, many Republicans, including Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, are questioning the bill's contents.
I think the cuts currently in the bill are wimpy and anemic. The problem is the math doesn't add up. They're going to explode the debt.
Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson says the cuts don't go far enough and that the bill will add to the nation's deficit.
You're saying you have these independent analysts saying it's 3.3 to 4 trillion. I agree with that. We have to reduce the deficit, and so we need to focus on spending.
So what
you don't defeat the deep state by funding it.
Also critical of the bill, House Democrats who argue the legislation will hurt a large swath of the American population because of its cuts to food stamps and changes to Medicare.
This is one big, ugly bill.
House Speaker Mike Johnson defended the bill on Face the Nation.
What this bill is going to do is be jet fuel to the U.S. economy. It's going to foster a pro-growth economy.
The bill as it stands now includes funding for border security, deportations, and defense, along with spending cuts to entitlement programs. $267 billion will be cut from SNAP, the program that supports food stamps. Proposed changes to Medicaid include new work requirements set to take effect by the end of next year. The bill extends the 2017 tax cuts while also fulfilling a Trump campaign promise of no taxes on overtime or tips. Christian Benavidez, CBS News.
Some senators have also suggested making changes to the legislation, but time is of the essence. GOP leaders have made it clear that they would like a bill on the president's desk by July 4th.
It's a very important tradition that we've done. It's something that we've got to make sure that we teach our children and our grandchildren about the meaning, the real meaning of Memorial Day.
Jeff Watts and the Rally Point Nonprofit Council laying out as many flags as possible yesterday at the Little Rock National Cemetery to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice. The goal, making sure that we remember this weekend, is much more than just firing up the grill for some barbecue or sitting back and enjoying the long weekend.
I'm a veteran. My dad's a veteran. We've got veterans in our families. It's just again a time to stop and be still for a moment and remember the sacrifice. We're a blessed country. We're a blessed nation. And the reason we're a blessed nation is because of the sacrifice of these heroic men and women out here.
Watts says that they plant flags every year on the Saturday before Memorial Day and year-round focus on both serving former and current military members. And in Northwest Arkansas, veterans are doing more of the same. Small American flags were placed at cemeteries across Rogers by members of American Post 100. This too is a longtime tradition by the group to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
If they would think of the freedoms and the rights that they have, and then walk out and look at the flags that's on the graves, or go out and just visit one, just remember they went on, give their life so we can have our freedoms.
Tomorrow, Post 100 will host a Memorial Day event with live music, guest speakers, and a 21-gun rifle salute.